What if the real reason your blood sugar refuses to come down has nothing to do with your diet or your medication? What if there is one simple morning habit practiced in Japan for over 1,000 years that does something to your blood sugar that no pill has ever replicated cleanly? Right now, millions of people are taking metformin every day and still watching their numbers stay stubbornly high. But researchers studying Japanese populations kept finding something they could not explain. People who practiced this one morning habit had dramatically better blood sugar control. And what you are about to learn will completely change how you think about managing glucose naturally. Stay with me because this could be the most important thing you watch this year. Here is what most doctors do not tell you about blood sugar. The problem is not just what you eat. The problem is what happens inside your body in the hours after you wake up. Every single morning, your body goes through something called the dawn phenomenon. This is when your liver releases a surge of glucose into your blood before you even take your first bite of food. For people with diabetes or pre-diabetes, this surge can push fasting blood sugar dangerously high before breakfast even begins. And here's what makes it worse. That morning glucose surge sets the tone for your entire day. When your fasting number starts high, your post-meal spikes hit harder. Your insulin works less efficiently, and your cells become more resistant as the hours pass. Most people try to fight this with medication alone, but medication taken without the right supporting habits can only do so much. That is why so many people take their pills faithfully every single morning and still see numbers that make absolutely no sense. Sometimes the real answer is simply a smarter and more intentional morning routine. The habit is called hara hachi-bu, combined with a Japanese morning movement routine for blood sugar control. Let me explain both parts simply. Hara hachi-bu is an ancient Okinawan Japanese practice that means eat until you are 80% full. It sounds simple, but the science behind it goes very deep. When you stop eating before you feel completely full, you give your digestive system a chance to process food more slowly. This slower processing changes everything about how glucose enters your blood. Instead of a sharp spike, you get a gradual, gentle rise that your insulin can actually manage. But the morning movement part is just as important, and most people in the West have never heard of it. In Okinawa and across many parts of Japan, older adults practice a gentle 10-minute movement routine immediately after waking up. This is not intense exercise. It is slow, deliberate movement that activates your muscles before you eat anything. And here is why that matters enormously. Your muscles are the largest glucose storage system in your entire body. When your muscles are activated, even gently, they open up what scientists call glucose transporters. These are tiny doors on the surface of your muscle cells that pull sugar out of your blood and store it as energy. When those doors are opened before breakfast, your body handles the morning glucose surge completely differently. The liver still releases sugar. But instead of sitting in your blood and pushing your numbers up, those glucose molecules get pulled directly into your muscle tissue. This is the core mechanism that researchers studying Okinawan centenarians kept finding again and again. Movement before food changes the entire glucose equation for the rest of the day and well beyond. The science here is more solid than most people expect. A study published in the journal Diabetes Care found that even 2 minutes of light movement after waking reduced morning fasting glucose by an average of 11% in people with type 2 diabetes. 11% from 2 minutes of movement before eating anything. That is the difference between a reading of 160 and a reading of 142 before a single meal has been eaten. Here is the mechanism in plain language. When you move your muscles, your body activates a protein called GLUT4. Think of GLUT4 as a key that unlocks the door on your muscle cells. When that key is active, glucose can flow out of your blood and into your muscles without needing insulin to do the work. This is called non-insulin-mediated glucose uptake, and it is one of the most powerful natural tools your body has available every single morning. Most people with insulin resistance have a broken insulin system, but their GLUT4 system often still works perfectly. That means movement can bypass the broken pathway entirely and still clear glucose from the blood. The 80% full practice adds another layer on top of that. Research from a National Institute on Aging showed that caloric moderation of even 10 to 20% reduced markers of oxidative stress and improved insulin sensitivity within days. Not weeks, days. These two habits working together create a morning environment where blood sugar has less opportunity to spike dangerously. Before we go further, tell me in the comments where you're watching this from right now and how long you've been dealing with blood sugar issues. If this is already making sense of something you have been worried about, subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. If this content is helping you, type 1 in the comments or 0 if it does not. Now let me show you exactly how to practice this habit the right way, because the details truly matter. The morning movement should happen within 15 minutes of waking up. Before coffee, before breakfast, before anything enters your body. Here is a simple 5-step version you can start tomorrow. Step 1. The moment you get out of bed, stand in place and march slowly, lifting each knee gently for 1 full minute. Step 2. Walk slowly around your home for 3 minutes. Not fast, just steady, deliberate walking that wakes your muscles up. Step 3. Do 10 slow, gentle squats holding a chair or counter if needed. Go only as low as comfortable. Step 4. Finish with 2 minutes of slow arm circles and shoulder rolls. The whole routine takes about 6 to 7 minutes. For the 80% full practice, here is the key rule. Put your fork or spoon down between every single bite. Chew slowly. And when you feel like you could eat a little more, but are not yet completely stuffed, that is your signal to stop. It takes about 20 minutes for your brain to receive the fullness signal from your stomach. Eating slowly gives that signal time to arrive before you overshoot. One critical detail: do not drink fruit juice or sweetened drinks in the morning. The sugar hits your blood with nothing slowing it down and can completely undo everything the morning movement just accomplished. Here is what researchers and people who practice this habit consistently report seeing in the first 3 days. Day 1. Your fasting blood sugar the next morning is often 5 to 15 points lower than your baseline. This happens because the movement activated your GLUT4 transporters and your muscles absorbed more of the overnight glucose release than they normally would have. Day 2. Your post-meal spikes start becoming smaller and shorter in duration. When you eat slowly to 80% fullness, your digestive process slows down and glucose enters your blood in a gentler, more manageable wave. Day 3. Many people report that their morning energy feels much more stable and consistent throughout the day. No sudden crash an hour after breakfast. No desperate craving for sugar by mid-morning. This is your insulin beginning to work more efficiently because the glucose load it is dealing with is smaller and steadier. Now, these are not overnight miracles. Nobody is claiming this replaces medication or medical supervision. But what the research consistently shows, and what thousands of people practicing this combination report, is a measurable downward trend in fasting and post-meal glucose that begins within the first 72 hours. If what you're learning right now is genuinely helping, please hit the like button right now. It takes 1 second, and it tells us to keep making content exactly like this. Every single like helps this important information reach more people who are quietly struggling with their blood sugar and do not yet know where to turn for real and practical answers. Now here are the foods that work best alongside this Japanese morning habit. All of them are available in any regular grocery store. Number 1 is natto. This is a traditional Japanese fermented soybean food. Natto contains an enzyme called nattokinase and is rich in vitamin K2, which directly supports insulin sensitivity and reduces arterial stress. If you can find it at an Asian grocery store, try 1 small serving 3 times a week alongside your meals. Number 2 is green tea. Japanese morning culture is built around green tea, and for very good reason. The compound EGCG in green tea has been shown in multiple studies to improve insulin sensitivity and slow glucose absorption after meals. 1 cup in the morning replaces coffee as your first drink with 0 blood sugar disruption whatsoever. Number 3 is miso soup. A small bowl of miso in the morning provides probiotics that actively support your gut microbiome. And the gut microbiome directly influences how your body processes glucose after every meal. Studies show people with healthier gut bacteria have significantly better blood sugar responses to the exact same meals compared to people with poor gut health. This habit is powerful, but some people need to approach it with extra care and awareness. If you're currently taking insulin injections, adding morning movement without adjusting your dose can cause your blood sugar to drop too low. This is called hypoglycemia, and it can be genuinely dangerous. Always speak with your doctor before changing your morning routine if you're on insulin. If you have neuropathy in your feet, meaning numbness or tingling in your toes, you should do the movement routine seated rather than standing. You can march in place while sitting in a firm chair, and the movement still activates the GLUT4 system effectively from a seated position. If you have heart disease or any condition limiting physical activity, get clearance from your doctor before starting any new routine, even a gentle and slow one. And if your blood sugar is consistently above 300, this morning habit alone is simply not sufficient on its own to bring it down safely. You need medical supervision alongside any lifestyle change you make. Let us bring everything together, because what you actually do with this information starting tomorrow is what matters most. Your blood sugar is not rising every morning because you are failing. It is rising because your body goes through the dawn phenomenon, and most people have never been taught how to work with it instead of against it. The Japanese morning habit we covered today gives you 2 tools to change that process starting tomorrow morning. The first tool is the morning movement ritual. 6 to 7 minutes of gentle, deliberate movement before you eat anything. This activates your GLUT4 transporters and pulls glucose into your muscles before insulin even has to get involved. It costs nothing. The second tool is Hara Hachi Bu, eating slowly and stopping at 80% full. This changes the rate at which glucose enters your blood after every single meal. Instead of a sharp spike, you get a gradual rise your body can actually handle properly. Together, these 2 habits change the morning glucose environment inside your body in ways that researchers have measured in real clinical settings. Not theories. Measured and documented improvements in fasting glucose starting within 3 days. The foods that support this habit are natto for K2 and insulin support, green tea for EGCG and glucose absorption control, and miso soup for gut health and better glucose processing after every meal. None of these require a prescription. None need a special diet plan or an expensive supplement program. These are foods eaten daily for generations by people who have some of the lowest rates of type 2 diabetes in the world. The most important thing to take from this video is this. Small, consistent morning habits repeated every single day are more powerful than any single medication adjustment alone. Your body wants to regulate glucose properly. It was designed to do exactly that, but it needs the right morning environment to do that job well. Start tomorrow. Move gently for 6 minutes before you eat. Eat your first meal slowly and stop before you are completely full. Drink green tea instead of juice. And give your body 3 days to show you what it is truly capable of when you stop fighting it and start working with it. If this video gave you a clearer picture of the morning habit that can help bring your blood sugar down and what you can do to protect yourself, please share it with someone you know who is living with diabetes. So many people are struggling every single morning with blood sugar numbers that they do not fully understand and have never been given a simple, natural solution for. Subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Thank you for trusting us with your health journey. We will see you in the next video.